Hi everyone, this is an alert, and I have covered this in previous videos, this risk that the people, well, the global citizens of Earth are facing now in every nation, and that is the corporate military threat. And it's a very serious threat. It's a very, very serious issue. Now, if we juxtapose this issue of privately owned corporate militaries who are there to serve anybody with enough money to hire them, and who have ownership of all kinds of weapons, who have not signed up to any of the required international agreements. We don't know exactly what weapons they have at their disposal. We know that their activities do include psychological warfare as well. Employing exactly the type of tactics as were utilised by Cambridge Analytica, who, as an organisation, is itself connected to these private corporate militaries. Now, this video from the Real News presents some very, very serious information, and I'm going to leave you the link to it, and I please ask you to watch this presentation. So we've got a corporate military group here, which include soldiers. You know, these are soldiers who are not serving any particular nation. They are employed to act as soldiers on behalf of whoever is wealthy enough to employ the company, the corporation, the military corporation that they contracted to work for. Now, the statement here from this man that they're now in Saudi Arabia, United Arab Emirates, which, as the Real News states at the start of this video, is a country inhabited by 9 million people. 9 million. So we're talking a fraction of Britain's population. A tiny fraction of America's population. And they are, apparently, they've been invited into the UAE to train, for training purposes. And as part of those training purposes, they are actively engaged in military actions against the people of Yemen. And this man states that his men are there to make mistakes and learn from them. Okay? They're there for training. They're there to, he says it, they're there to make mistakes, make errors and learn from them, and take their knowledge then back to the USA to share with other recruits, employees into this corporate military organisation. Now, for the men themselves that are part of this, you know, we do need to understand that we're living in a system of global austerity. Finances are very tight. People will take up whatever jobs are available. And these corporate military are absorbing the survivors of ex-soldiers from national militaries. So the national military is paying for these soldiers' training, general training and experience, And then these are then being, the survivors are then being absorbed into the corporate military, who have been invited, like I say, into the UAE, the United Arab Emirates, for training purpose. They're actively engaged in warfare against the people of Yemen, and they are actively encouraged to make mistakes and learn from them. And this is the corporate military. And these, we know that Dynacorp is established in Britain in the hope of getting a foothold in EU nations, other EU nations as well. That they are up for hire by the British government. And it is a very real concern that at some point the British government, a rogue, tyrannical British government, has opportunity to employ corporate military to fight against Britain's national soldiers, in the event of Britain's national soldiers supporting the very serious and dire concerns related to treason within British Parliament. That is putting British people's lives and welfare at risk. These are very real threats. And especially, like I say, when we juxtapose them against the alleged war on terror and the concerns about extremist Muslims within Britain. So the public are facing this armed group who are prepared to work for anybody, regardless of the morality and the ethics of the people that are employing them and the purposes for which they are being employed for, regardless of any of that. So, a country like Britain might decide not to support a Nazi regime. That we would say, no, our military, no, we're not going to help Nazis get into power into this country, into this particular country. We're not going to put our soldiers' lives at risk to protect Nazis. But you see, a corporate military isn't interested about the whys and wherefores of any particular conflict within any particular region. They're there just to make money. They're there to make a profit. They're there to train their men, who are encouraged to make mistakes. Well, what kind of mistakes might a corporate military make? Might they bomb a house full of women and children? Might they bomb a school? Might they shoot down innocent people in the street? Oh yeah, well, I'm just training. It was a mistake. I've learned from it. That's what I'm here to do. Make mistakes and learn from them. This is outrageous. And don't forget, all these men who, for whatever reason, mostly because they need cash to support their families, are being exploited and further brutalised within this corporate military command. Now, this corporate military is a global threat, and I think that the United Nations needs to meet to discuss the lawful validity of corporate militaries. Now, in previous videos, and I'll leave you the link to one of them, I have connected the missing $21 trillion that had disappeared from the Pentagon budget over the course of 21 years Okay? That's what it amounts to. Over the course of 21 years, the Pentagon has received $21 trillion that it can't account for. Okay? That is unaccounted for. We don't know how or where they've spent it, what they've spent it on. And don't forget, that $21 trillion that's missing doesn't include the other trillions of dollars that have been accounted for, that can be accounted for. And the lawful suspicion is that this $21 trillion has been siphoned off to pay as loans to establish corporate militaries and provide them with all the necessary equipment. Because how does a private corporate military, with the kind of weapons and technology at their disposal, how does it actually materialise into global reality? Without huge financial backing from the major bankers. This is extremely serious, and as I say, I hope that people will get active now and, you know, talk about this and contact the United Nations, because I feel that these corporate militaries need to be investigated by independent bodies, such as weapons inspectors, and that their activities need to be monitored, and that they are called to account and required to uphold certain protocols that do not allow them, that do not encourage them to make mistakes. You know, he says it very clearly, they're expected to make mistakes and learn from them. So it's basically free rein, do what you like, boys. Inciting their employees to commit crimes. Which will, later in life, weigh very heavily on their conscience. Please, 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 get active, people, and, you know, watch this video, understand what is going on, understand the threat and the risks here. The future of the human child is at stake. We need to deliver that child from this madness into a place of sanity and love that is the right of every child on earth, including the children of you men. So God bless and love to all.